I'm waiting for it to say that we are live, and we are now live. Hello everyone and welcome to the Geek Battle show here on the Extreme Improv, Xstreamed and Geek Battle YouTube channels. So get ready to live long and prosper. And on the show tonight we're going to discuss a bunch of geeky happenings in the world, some new stuff, some old stuff, some new stuff that should be old stuff. And on the show tonight, attempting to be Geek of the Week, we have Gerald. Say hello to the people and give us a random geek trivia fact if you have one.
Hello, everybody. So my geek fact is, I just looked it up, so bear with me. I will double check it, make sure it's correct. But supposedly, geek is Portuguese for pencil neck. There you go.
Wow. Okay. I did not expect that. Cap, say hello to the people and give us your random geek trivia fact.
Hail from the land of leopards, elephants, and crocodiles. It's me, Captain Dave, and I cannot top that geek fact, unfortunately. But I do have turtle fact, though. So, in the TMNT 2012 version, one of those controversial when it first came out, but then everyone liked it because the writing is so good in that show. But the thing is that they interestingly started romantically pairing up the turtles with different people. When I say people, I say humans. Okay? Leonardo likes a human. The weird thing about it is that the weird human likes Leonardo back. That's the weird thing I want to say. And the thing
Leonardo is a very sexy turtle. Of course, Cap.
For some reason, yes. And also, Donatello is in love with April O'Neil, but she's also has a thing for Casey Jones. Michelangelo ends up with the future lady and another Japanese lady. But get this. This is why, David, no one likes Raphael, even though he's actually a cool turtle. He ends up with a salamander, okay? Out of all of the turtles, he's the only one to end up with the, well, not so good-looking person. But
Wait.
Kind of the salamander.
Is that a human or is it literally a lizard?
No, she's the alien salamander, and she looks like a salamander.
Okay, well, that's got to be worth at least a point, but, yeah, no, look, who doesn't like Raphael? Raphael's the best one.
I would say he's the best one, but he's one of the most known turtles, but they screwed him on that show because out of all the other turtles, he's the one to end up with the nude. They even comment this on the show when the girl that likes Leonardo sees Raphael's girlfriend and he goes, so Raphael's into a newt? And then Leo goes like, I know, weird, right? And then she looks at her option and goes,
That is definitely weird. So, guys, speaking of, like, weird stuff, it's been, like, a weird week in terms of stuff that's going on. One of the things that I did find out that I was quite pleased about is apparently Slimer is returning to the new Ghostbusters film. So on the left we can see the original Slimer, and on the right is apparently the new Slimer. But to me,
he's gotten older.
Sorry?
He's gotten older. You can see the age in the second picture.
Well, that's an interesting observation in itself. I feel like, I don't know if like the one on the left was from Ghostbusters 1 and the one on the right is based on Ghostbusters 2, but to me it doesn't look like a redesign. I mean, clearly they don't look the same, but the one on the right still looks like what I expect Slimer to look like. Any reactions to this at all?
It's like that Doctor Who thing, too.
It's like what?
It's like Stavros in a weird way.
Do you mean Davros?
Yeah, Davros.
Jesus, Stavros. Okay, there was... I'm going to show you who Stavros is. Because many people make this mistake. I think it was a Harry Enfield character. Was it Harry Enfield? Yeah, so Harry Enfield, a British comedian who you guys probably don't know, in the 1980s or early 90s, had a comedic character called Stavros. And so many people, when they said that Davros is returning to Doctor Who, they just thought that this guy was coming back as that.
Well, isn't that closer to what the new Davros is?
It's actually, yeah, you're not far off. The new Davros is actually closer to being Stavros. So
he's the food critic. They just looked at Ratatouille and thought that's the design I want to go.
I know, it's absolutely insane. So again, like I always have to be careful, just because you don't know what's going to pop up, especially with geek stuff. People look weird. But so there's the new Davros, and there's Stavros, and it's not a million miles off, considering that it used to look like that. I mean, that is just.
That's also silly.
It's who.
That's silly too. I can laugh at that as well. That's what I'm trying to say.
If that came in the room behind you, you would crap yourself.
I would laugh. I mean, it's basically coming in a wheelchair. I mean, like, if it's like coming in without a wheelchair, I would be like, ah! But it's like, it'll take a half a minute for it to get through here.
Well, he's basically the, partial, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Dalek?
The
I
what?
know that I was very scolded by.
Oh yeah, it's a Dalek.
Dave MC. Dalek or Dalek?
Dalek. To rhyme with garlic, basically.
Okay.
Dalek to rhyme with garlic. Now look, here we see though, that is Doctor Strange at the end of the Multiverse of Madness. And there is Davros, and literally the makeup I think on Davros is great. But it looks so much better than what they can do in the MCU nowadays. So because Disney are now funding Doctor Who, they were like, no. From now on, Davros has to look like that, which is a step closer to this.
Yeah, they didn't want to take the hype off of the Doctor Strange.
Wait a second. Hang on a second. Look at this. So if you look at Stavros there, and then you look at regular Doctor Strange. It's like it's going full circle. So like phase 1 of this is this. Phase 2 is regular Doctor Strange. Phase 3 is that. Phase 4, where is it? Is this, which then turns back into this, which then goes full circle back into that.
I think you're dead.
It's like we figured out the mysteries of the universe here.
The weird cycles of.
So, guys, once again, like, Dave MC isn't here. And I know you guys aren't the biggest Doctor Who fans. But I can't let it go without recognition that the Doctor had a regeneration. We now have the 15th Doctor. But do you guys know about what happened in this episode?
I do not. I know that there was a new Doctor. And
Oh, hang on. Oh, shit, it's Nick. Okay. Hello, Nick.
Oh, shit, it's me.
Yeah. I don't mean that to be the catchphrase, but it just kind of works. You turn up 5 minutes late and it just feels like, oh shit, Nick's here. Right.
Sorry, I lost track of time.
That's alright. Are you wearing a Doritos t-shirt?
I am, yes.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I like it too. I bought it yesterday when I was out Christmas shopping.
No, that's great. I love stuff like that. How are you, Nick?
Yeah. I am well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. We were just talking about Doctor Who. Now, were you aware that we now have the 15th Doctor?
Spoiler alert, no. I knew it was coming. I'm still a little bit behind. I just finished the 4th or...
The 4th Doctor? That means you've got 11 Doctors to go.
I just got to the Christmas episode from 2004.
What?
Because I'm rewatching the entire series again.
Okay, I was going to say, that's even worse, because that is like, you've got 9 years to go. That's going to take a while.
Yeah, but I watch them in I watch like a series in 2 days. So...
Fair play. But yes, we now do, in fact, have the 15th Doctor. Look, Dave isn't here. You guys aren't, like, the biggest Doctor Who fans. I won't...
I'm getting there. What I've been watching really...
Okay, but I won't give the spoilers for how it happened, because it was controversial, as everything in the last 5 years has been in Doctor Who, unfortunately.
More controversial than the Jodie Whittaker thing?
Significantly, yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah. Well, look,
So
guys, look, how much do you want to know or not?
So I had understood that, I can't remember the guy's name, one of the previous Doctors was on, and I think it was for the special or something, and he also started up the new season before the new Doctor came? Or am I just way off?
Wait, so I didn't quite understand it, if I'm honest.
So, it was one of the guys that played the previous Doctor, and I cannot remember his name, but I think it was one of the, like, favorite of maybe it was, I think it was David Tennant.
So David Tennant, and he did what, Gerald?
Well, I guess he was the Doctor when they thought initially it was supposed to be the new Doctor, and then there was like a handoff or something.
Yeah, so what they did, and you know, look, there's all of the trailers, it's on Disney Plus and all this now. David Tennant, it wasn't a surprise, people had heard this rumour and that he was coming back for the 60th anniversary. He regenerated so that after Jodie Whittaker, David Tennant came back, and instead of just being the 10th Doctor again, he was the 14th Doctor. And it was literally just that he was coming back for the 60th anniversary. And then he would be handing things over to Ncuti Gatwa, who is the 15th Doctor. But I don't know, like, Nick, if you don't want the spoiler, I won't give the spoiler. So it's up to you. Okay,
I'm still so far behind that by the time I get to that, I'll be like...
Basically, we didn't have a regeneration, guys. We had what they called a BiGeneration. They split into two. So we have two Doctors in play now. So Ncuti Gatwa split off of David Tennant. Now, I'm going to show you this photo, which will show partly why it was controversial. When they split off, they pushed apart. So basically, they split off each other from the penis. So, generally, they're saying that, literally, Ncuti Gatwa told David Tennant to push. And I'm not even joking. He said, push. And so, literally, David Tennant gave birth to Ncuti Gatwa. And the weird thing here, if I bring up this image, you'll see that David Tennant's got a waistcoat on. They both have shirts on, but Ncuti Gatwa has a tie. Other than the shirt, which I'm just guessing that David Tennant's about 50 and he didn't want to be there in no shirt, they kind of exchanged clothes half and half. So David Tennant was wearing everything, but then Ncuti Gatwa just had the tie and David Tennant had no tie. David Tennant then had no shoes, while Ncuti Gatwa had shoes on. But the weird thing is that they decided that David Tennant would be in trousers and Ncuti Gatwa would just be running around in underpants for the remainder of the episode. So it was a bit controversial. They both have shirts on. I don't know why they both couldn't have had trousers on as well.
How is it? What can you tell from this guy? Because, like, from the image of the start, I think he's going to be a funny Doctor. Because, like,
yeah, look, he came in. He'd got a bunch of energy, right? Like, his performance seemed absolutely fine. It was just that they just cannot quit David Tennant. If you know the story from what happened years ago, when David Tennant has been like 4 iterations of the Doctor now, it's insane. Because he was the Doctor, and his hand was cut off when he first became the Doctor. And because he had just regenerated, his hand grew back. Then a character found the hand that was cut off and used it like a Doctor detector because it would shake or glow whenever the Doctor was near. And the Doctor took his hand back. He was then fatally wounded, and when he regenerated, he beamed all of the excess energy into the hand, so that way he could stay looking like himself. And then the hand grew another David Tennant out the rest of it. And so then this second David Tennant, they were like, well, look, you're going to leave soon, but we want you to still be here. So we're just going to send you into a parallel dimension, so that way we can always bring you back. And they never brought him back. So then, when Jodie Whittaker regenerates, like this, she turns into David Tennant. And people are like, oh, why didn't they just bring back the one of him that already exists? So then it's David Tennant's time to regenerate again. And they're like, David, we just don't want to lose you. So then they had him split in half from his penis and become Ncuti Gatwa. And so David Tennant was still there.
So David, to clarify though,
yes,
that he split in half from his penis.
Yes.
That implied that he was erect at that time.
Does it? I don't know. You're getting into different areas of fan fiction than what I was hoping to today, Gerald.
So what you're saying is that the Doctor Who regeneration was controversial, but not for the reasons that I was thinking.
Well, I don't know what reasons you were thinking. I know what reasons Gerald was
I don't
thinking.
remember what they were at that time, because since you said that he's regenerated from his penis 3 times.
No, he only regenerated from his penis once. But once is enough.
Or penis.
Yeah, and so now that, but here's the thing. Here's where it gets more controversial. Is they said BiGeneration has never happened before, and they could just do this forever now. But what it means is that for years they went on the idea that he's the last Time Lord, and they've walked that back a couple of times. But now he clearly isn't.
He's repopulating.
The most recent episode I saw was the Christmas episode, like I was saying prior, and there's 2 doctors in that episode.
Which 2 doctors? Which episode? Who were the doctors?
I don't remember. Hold on.
Was it the Peter Capaldi with the guy then playing the first Doctor?
No, it was David Tennant and another doctor from another dimension, I guess.
So David Tennant. Oh, okay. Hang on. So that was the Christmas episode called The Next Doctor.
Yes.
That other Doctor wasn't the Doctor.
Yeah, I figured that out at the end of the episode.
Yeah, they reveal that he's not actually a future incarnation. He's someone that got some of the Doctor's memories. It's all very complicated for Cap and Gerald, who's like, what's going on here?
Catherine Tate.
Catherine O'Hara.
No. Who is the actress that...
Catherine Tate.
Yeah, Catherine Tate gets her mind wiped or whatever.
Yes. Well, the new episode...
That is the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Why?
Why can't you get her mind wiped?
Don't worry, look, she's in the new ones. Her memory's back. It's fine. Right.
Okay, asshole.
It took them 14 years to solve that storyline, and that too had controversy around it, but it was very clever. Anyway, Cap.
We'll discuss how we like next year when I get to watching that point.
Well, okay, that's literally like a month away now, so in fact you've got like 15 days to catch up on this. Cap.
Okay, this is slightly off from Doctor Who. This is about turtles. I'm trying to convert it back to... because, it's got too confused.
Are you saying Splinter split off from his penis?
Never.
That's why his name's Splinter. What did you think?
Well, there you go. Yeah, it makes sense, Gerald.
His real name is Amano Yoshi, okay? He had to make an American name when he got to America. Although I don't know what he was thinking. Splinter. That's a good name.
So that goes back to what Marty had mentioned a little while ago, is that the Turtles were mostly based off an homage and stuff to Daredevil, and I can't remember the name of the guy that supposedly helped him or taught him.
Urokosaki?
No, Daredevil. It's like Broom or something like that. I can't remember the guy's name.
It's Stick.
Stick. There it goes. And that's why his name is Splinter.
Although, Gerald, the last version, I've only started that a few months ago, but I never actually finished it. Again, comics are really hard for me to get into. So
The Last Ronin in particular is excellent. It is pretty dark, and then the one after it that they just came out in the collection is called The Last Ronin, The Lost Years, which talks about the new quartet of turtles. But it's pretty good. It still touches on and does a lot with the original turtles and the last Ronin part, which is excellent.
So, I have a question for you as a big Turtles fan. What are your thoughts on the next incarnation and Venus and Milo? We already had this conversation, I don't remember it.
Sorry, you go again, Nick?
Wasn't there a thing that was like the next mutation and like they had another turtle named Venus de Milo or some bullshit like that?
You mean they're going to plan to add another girl turtle?
Did they do that at one point?
There were two girl turtles that were added. Venus de Milo was the first one, and most of the diehard Turtles fans did not like it. I think it came out in one of the animated series later on. Then there's another one called Jenica, which is, I think, only in the comics. And then now there's this new quartet of turtles, 2 are boys and 2 are girls, that are after much later than the
What are
4
your
turtles.
thoughts on Jenica and Venus and Milo?
I'll be straight with you, Nick. After 2012, the animated series ended. I hated Rise completely. Okay, I hated the design. I hated the fact that Ben Schwartz voiced Leonardo. The stoic character turned into this whitey, glittery guy. I hated the whole thing. I'll say this: I grew up on watching the 2003 and the 2012 versions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I grew up watching the ones from 93 and 94.
I've seen some of that, but it didn't
And
really
it's good
grasp me.
stuff. Except for the whole shit with Brain. Because fuck that Brain.
Although I do like the movies. Like I love all the.
Oh, the
90s.
movies are great. I have
I love
the
them
third
all.
one.
I didn't like the third one. I like, unlike other people, I didn't get that much mad at it. Again, I saw it way later. I know it got a little bit more funnier and more comedic than the first one. So I get why people had a hard time with it, but I didn't find because like I thought the same characters were correct for the piece of shit. And I really like Casey Jones came back. I like the actor that
I love
played
Casey Jones.
So the only thing I hated is the new Rise is mainly because I hated it because they turned it into Teen Titans Go. Okay? That's what they do to everything.
Yeah.
I don't know much about those 2 female characters, so I can't really speak on it. The Jenica one, I started checking out a couple of comics about it, so it looks like that probably was a decent character in there. And then like the new quartet iteration, I mean, to me it sort of makes sense. And I don't, there being female turtles versus male turtles doesn't really matter.
It's like the South Park thing. We never actually talked about South Park, but when they did an episode where they like how to make remakes, turn them into chicks. I'm not gonna say it, but like that's the whole thing.
Like geek fact of the week.
Yeah, what is your geek fact of the week?
So Mirage Studios, which is the Turtles, which is the company that made the original New Turtles comic book, the reason why they called Mirage Studios, there was never a studio. It was 2 guys who were cartoonists just writing the comics in their apartment. And they had to come up with an idea for a publishing house, and they used their play on words Mirage because the studio was a figure of their imagination. When they did most of their actual drawings, they did them at like a coffee shop or they would because they didn't have a studio.
There is a clip in the end of this is a movie that David has seen, the multiverse movie, where the new Turtles and the old Turtles meet. I forgot the name of it. Turtles Forever. Yes. In that film, when the movie ends, you get a short scene of the original comics going in a basement, and you hear the 2 writers speaking about it, let's go get the pizza. Like nonchalant, they just go, and they kind of did an homage to that. That's how the whole thing was kind of created.
That's cool.
There was a good episode on the Toys We Loved or something like that talked about the turtles.
The toys that made us.
Yeah, the toys that made us.
It's a great show.
Yeah, it was very good. It was interesting to hear all the sort of animosity and whatnot that occurred because there was bad blood between Eastman and Laird. And they sort of patched it up a bit, but it's sort of interesting.
It's weird how that happens between creators or stars, where you'd think that they'd get along great, but there's example after example of it. Wasn't it a thing that Mulder and Scully hated each other for years?
The actors?
Yeah. No, the characters.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, that's
really
who knows.
And there's 2 people that created Red Dwarf. And they stopped working together after 1993, and literally they resolved a legal dispute between the 2 of them this year. So it took them 20 years. like new series and things were made along the way, but somewhere along the way it turned nasty and legal and stuff like this, and they've literally only just resolved it. And it was that they put out a joint statement saying, we've resolved ongoing issues and we'll be making separate iterations of Red Dwarf, and we wish each other well. But like literally the bad blood is clearly still there. So weird.
Well, it sounds like, what was the one that we've talked about that, I think it was a horror director, producer or something, that they had a litigation and stuff, and then they ended up splitting it, and like they can both do their own thing.
Yeah, Of the Dead. So there was the Night of the Living Dead, and then from that you got the Return of the Living Dead, and then you just got the Of the Dead films, where literally it was the difference between the word of living. So Night of the Living Dead, and then the sequel was Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. So then you had Return of the Living Dead as a separate series. Cap.
So this is touching quite a bit on stars, which is something of a wrestling connection as well. Is that you know that Hollywood sometimes try to push in stars to be the next best thing, and most of the time it doesn't work. It usually we end up hating the new star and hating the movies that they're in. I would say this: when this happens, pull a wrestling move and make the characters they play into villains. I would 100% tell you that would sell. Right now, the Marvels, no one like Brie Larson, okay? That has been clear from the start when she entered MCU. They're trying to push it, for some reason it's not working. Make her the big bad in the next Avenger film. Everyone will like, oh shit. And again, here's the thing, she can actually, that would be a chance for her to actually use all the animosity to the character, which most of pro wrestlers do. It happened with Roman Reigns, it happened with Stone Cold, it happened with every wrestling star that they tried to push that didn't work. When they turned into the bad guy, they became famous as hell.
And I think that's a good idea for Captain Marvel, because the thing that they could do is they could do a way better version of the story, like Dark Phoenix. Because again, like I think the movie and stuff that they had with it was pretty bad on the X-Men side. I think with Sony or whoever had it. But that's something that they could do, and that, I mean, she's got super crazy powers, so that could be, I mean, that would be an awesome.
And this is the
awesome
weird thing. When they turn heroes into villains, they sometimes do the worst decision, like with Scarlet Witch. No one hated Scarlet Witch. Everyone liked Elsa Mendoza, and everyone liked Scarlet Witch, and they were like, oh, we're just gonna make her evil for evil's sake. And it was like, what are you doing?
Well, they're setting up House of M in the MCU.
Oh, they are? Okay.
But they're setting up House of M. They're not gonna do it because they're gonna do Young Avengers instead. And that makes me sad at one time, because I love the House of M storyline. But I think they're gonna just do Young Avengers instead.
Yeah.
Although Tony Stark is now coming back, I feel like this is a Dr. Tennant movie. Sorry, David Tennant.
I think they said, didn't they say like a week ago or something that Robert Downey Jr. is not coming back?
Oh, they redacted it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, imagine if they're giving you like $50 million, but you already got $50 million just for the first Avengers film. So if you've already got like $200 or $300 million, and they offer you $50 million to get on board the Titanic, I just don't know that I'd do that. It's like, I could try and save it, but this is a sinking ship, and I don't want that stank on me. You know, I don't know if I'd be willing to do it.
$50 million goes a long way, though.
It does, but like when you're talking that he got $50 million just for the first movie, and then he'd got whatever he was paid for Iron Man 1 to 3 and Civil War and Endgame and all that, it's like, well, if I come back, I'm going to ruin my legacy. You know, and at the moment, it's like, well, it was good when I was there. I left and it went downhill. I come back and it still sucks, then people are going to start turning on me. Because you even look at Star Wars, right? The fact that Luke, Han, and Leia came back and then it was not very good. They're like, what have we done to our legacy? Whereas if they had just stayed back and say, no, you can just ruin yourselves here. You know, then it would have been ruined, and then they could have been waiting there now, saying, "Are you going to bring us back now and make it good?" You know, you got to play this carefully.
Interesting thing with Mark Hamill is that when he came back for the second film, you could see in the most of the interviews, like, he was so mad
Yeah.
at the script. He was like, in every interview, he would call the director and he was like, this is how you see Luke in the original movies, and you think this is how it would go? You can see the frustration in his face, but he can't really say anything.
The worst possible
with Mark Hamill when he was auditioning for the Joker. He was like, he went to the audition, and like the director said, "You know you can't be the Joker. You're Luke Skywalker." And he was like, "Tell you what I'm gonna do. We're gonna bring in 2 other guys. You're gonna wear a blindfold, and we're just gonna read the lines without you seeing who is who. We'll be like, I'm 1, this is 2, this is 3, and you can pick who you want." And they were like, "If that's what you want, we'll be able to recognize your voice because you're Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker."
I tell you what, though, Mark Hamill, he then was Skeletor in the god awful He-Man reboot thing that they did.
We don't talk about that, though.
No, exactly. We shouldn't talk about that, right?
We also don't talk about Highlander 2 because that movie's garbage.
Wait, where did Highlander 2 come out of the ether?
It's in
It's
the
about to
list.
come out, right? Henry Cavill or something like that.
What did you just say?
Isn't it a Henry Cavill doing a Highlander movie?
Hang on a second, Cap. I wasn't prepared for this out of the blue. So there you go. Henry Cavill of the week. He's doing a Highlander movie.
Henry Cavill's face, when you superimpose it, covers my face entirely.
There you go. It's like Where's Waldo? You're just sneaking at the back.
So here, actually, this is a better geek fact than the one I gave earlier. Did you know that Kurt Russell tried out for both the role of Luke and Han?
Wow.
Kurt Russell?
I would have hired him for both. That's Kurt Russell we're talking about here.
Yep.
It would be like Sylvester Stallone doing Han.
What? No, Kurt Russell was
Kurt
awesome.
Russell?
Did you know that the last words that, according to legend, the last words that Walt Disney said was Kurt Russell, and then he died?
But wasn't that he wrote it down?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah.
He was writing a letter.
But nobody knows why he did that.
Kurt Russell. Well, he was
That was
obviously
his last
leaving
words.
him his fortune. Either that, or Kurt Russell killed Walt Disney. And all these years
there you
later,
go.
I am writing that story. That is a movie. Like,
I
Kurt
would
Russell.
do that.
And at the back, he's just smiling like the computer wore tennis shoes. Kurt Russell
Isn't he
from
a
like
kid?
1968.
Wait, isn't he a kid at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 9 years old.
No,
This
he's
is what I
older
wanna
than that.
do,
But
David, I want to do a long form scene, a long form improv scene of Kurt Russell plotting to kill Walt Disney.
Look at
Like,
this.
long form-
Isn't this a murderous face if you ever saw one? Look at that.
Holy shit, he's always looked like that.
well, how about this as a twist? It's more of a Citizen Kane movie with Rosebud, except it was Kurt Russell for Disney.
Yeah.
Yes. Anytime that we reference
Joe, I-
reference in this movie, somebody gets a Halo or something.
Do you remember the film The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes?
I only did because my wife, it's a not one of, but it is a favorite movie of hers, I'll put it that way.
Okay,
And I
well,
was surprised
I've never
that Kurt
massively
Russell was
got
on
into
both
that
shows.
one. But the sequel to it, The World's Strongest Man, Kurt Russell, is one of my favourite films of all time. If you haven't seen it, like they're at school or at college or whatever, and he invents a breakfast cereal, and it gives you super strength, and Phil Silver's like Sergeant Bilko's in it, and it's just this most ridiculous movie of all time. Look at that. That is a film that they should make a sequel to now.
There you go.
Although I would say among the 80s action hero, Kurt Russell is probably the most leanest of all the action heroes.
He's the leanest.
Yeah, like compared to Stallone, Arnold, who's the other people?
Okay, when did Die Hard come out? Because can we count Bruce Willis in this?
That's in the 90s. That's in the 90s.
I was going to say late 80s or 90.
Okay.
I want to say it's 1989.
Yeah, okay, hang on. Yeah, it's 1988, in fact. How about that? So look, you know, here we see,
Pretty lean too.
you know, he's pretty lean, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think he looks more lean than Kurt Russell. But like at that 80s hero time where like Rambo, Commando, Terminator, Rocky, I would say Kurt Russell probably looks more leaner than any other.
Hang on, there is another one you're forgetting, Cap. And that is the classic Eve of Destruction. Look at her, if she isn't quite lean.
Who is that?
What? Were you not on the show a week or two ago? It's the greatest film ever made. I need to... Sorry, guys, this is happening. I'm going to have to tell you the premise of this film again. So, the premise is... Eve of Destruction is a 1991, okay, it's not 80s, American sci-fi action thriller.
That was 91?
Yeah. The film is about a nuclear-armed prototype android named Eve who has gone amok whilst being field-tested by the military in a big city. Right? And the whole trailer, her catchphrase, because literally the idea is, she's a nuclear bomb, but she's a woman? And then on the trailer, just over and over again, she goes up to people, and like guys are like, hey baby, come here. And she's like, I'm very sensitive, and then she rips their heads off. What a catchphrase, I'm very sensitive. So like, they were like, never mind, yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard, never mind, I'll be back. It's just, I'm very sensitive, crunch. Eve of Destruction, what a movie. I've never seen it, to be honest.
I think we can modern day.
No, I've just seen the trailer.
I think a modern day action hero can use that line. I am very sensitive.
I think every modern day action hero says that line. That is just like, that's like the first words of any character in a Disney film nowadays.
I said that line last Tuesday.
Did you? And what did your doctor respond to you, Nick?
No, you're not, you piece of shit.
Right. Ah, dear.
But I would again go back to the what I say, like turn stars into heel.
Yeah.
I would say you would get very good results, and with right, like Gerald said, she's a very powerful character. Currently, I would say, I think in the MCU, like besides Thor, there's probably no one that can actually fight her. Maybe Scarlet Witch, but again, she's MIA at the moment. So,
Captain Marvel?
I mean, like, the weirdest thing, right? Like, I think a professional wrestler said this, or I think it's a boxer or something like that, said that, like, Muhammad Ali, that if they don't like me, they don't pay to see me win, they pay to see me get beat.
Yeah.
So,
No, I agree. Hang on, hold that thought, though. Because it then says here, Colonel Jim McQuaid, what a name. Colonel Jim McQuaid is tasked with eliminating the unstoppable machine. With the help of Dr. Simmons, he tries to outthink the intelligent but emotional robotic doppelganger. What a film.
Is Colonel Jim McQuaid played by Mr. Randy Quaid?
I don't think so. It's played by Gregory Hines. We were talking like on an Xstreamed Improv show about a year ago, about like the ultimate character name from like the 80s or something. This was a conversation with our friend Jimmy Mack, who passed away earlier this year, sadly. But we were, I think what the name we ended up just referencing it over and over again. But like I think the name we came up with, what was it? Like Staff Sergeant, like either Max Firestarter, or it was like Staff, or what was it? Staff Sergeant Dick Pound. You know, we came up with these crazy action here. It's like so it was Staff Sergeant Max Firestarter and Federal Agent Dick Pound. These are the ultimate 80s action hero names. But that's got to be up there. Colonel
But
Jim
you're forgetting-
McQuaid.
You're forgetting the ultimate 80s and 90s character actor name.
Which is?
Samuel motherfucking Jackson.
Oh my god, you and Samuel... Like, hang on, wait a second, Nick. I don't have the graphics for this, but every time you mention Samuel L. Jackson, we're going to have a banner.
Also, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, well...
You said it.
Wait for it.
What was it?
Look, this is for you, Nick. Boom! Right.
Winning. I am winning this game today.
Oh dear. Every we all have what? That was that was a conversation from last week or last time. How do I get this off the screen? Right, there we go. Now guys, this show isn't going to be able to run terribly much longer, and I feel like we've spoken a lot and achieved nothing. I don't think we've actually discussed any new trailers, anything we've seen. I don't know where the time's gone. It's been great. So, Cap, is there something you'd like to share with us? What have we seen this week that we need to react to?
Just right now, a few hours ago, came out Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer as well.
The what? Kung Fu Panda 4?
Yes.
Well, let's bring this bad boy up.
Actually, I'm excited to talk about that because I love Jack Black.
Although, my question is the same question I posed in the Geek Chat about Chris Pratt. Why is he voicing Garfield, and why is he in every animated movie? The same question I asked for, why is Aquafina in every animated movie there is?
Who?
Because Aquafina's a delight and a national treasure, dude. I love everything that she's done.
Have you not heard Scuttle sing?
Who is this
No, I have
person?
not.
That is my favorite song
Aquafina.
in the new Disney movie.
Oh my god!
The Scuttlebutt is an awesome song. Kevin says, I will fight you over this.
Okay, let's bring this up. We've got our force field up. So, Jack Black, trailer now. I mean, the animation looks great. Like, the fur and that instantly looks amazing. I'll be honest, I didn't know there was more than 2 of these films.
No, there's 3.
That was my assumption from this being number 4, but...
The weirdest thing about it, David, is like, this is one of the weirdest movies with the weirdest end, but has the most deepest storyline in the 2000s. Kung Fu Panda was like, as a kid, like, that's like so good. Disney level good at Fingers, the first one.
That was my favorite movie of the year it came out.
See?
So there's
But-
2 snow leopards?
No, so apparently this new bad guy can shapeshift, so that character is Aquafina, which I'm gonna hate because I know she's going to ruin the movie because she's not in for a short bit. She's accompanying Poe for the whole time, okay?
How do you spell her name? I need to look up this, like, as I'd say, Aqua.
AWK.
No, it's AKWAFINA.
Aquafina. That's a single word.
Yes.
Okay, what do I know her from?
That's her stage name.
David,
So
have
she's
you
been on a
seen
couple
the new Little
different-
Mermaid?
Okay, let's have a look.
She was in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Nine Rings or whatever.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Was she the friend?
Yes.
I hated her. She was awful.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Oh, and she was in Little Mermaid. I literally didn't remember that film. And also, she was in Renfield, and I only got 10 minutes into that.
She was excellent in, I can't remember the name of it.
Ocean's
It's a
12?
very sad
12?
movie, but
She was also in Ocean's
I'll find
13.
Yes.
She's in Ocean's 8.
Eight.
Yep.
I didn't watch that either.
I loved Ocean's 8. I love
I would give that to you, Nick. In that movie, I didn't hate her because mostly there's other characters and their voices, Rihanna's basically in it, so her voice fills up the movie.
I also love a
The
good
Farewell. The Farewell. She was also in Crazy Rich Asians, but The Farewell, she was absolutely incredible. again. Definitely not a
But
geek movie or a happy movie.
But David,
was very
if you have seen The Little Mermaid, she was in the nightmarish scene where they thought instead of having the actress they hired for the voice and she can't sing, instead of her singing, they thought it would be a good idea to make the seagull, who is played by Aquafina, do a rap song in the middle of the movie, which like rings in your head.
Also, that rap song was written by my favorite theatrical producer right now, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I would say that he can make a song for The Rock. He can't do it for Aquafina, okay?
Valid.
So I think she actually got her start doing rap. And was it on YouTube or something?
That is entirely true.
Yeah.
If I was Aquafina, I would like sue the director who thought it was a good idea to make her sing. Again, she could be a very funny comedic actress, but I would be like, we want you to sing. I would see this coming a mile away right now. Like, you want me to suck, don't you? This is literally you're trying to suck my dick.
Okay, so guys, is anyone other than Aquafina? Why is it that can't be a real name? Like this, this.
No, it's her stage name.
Okay.
It was her rap name.
Her real. Okay, there you go. Because I was going to say it's just like a single word, but like Nora Lum. June 2nd. That's my birthday. I like her now. Look, you leave Aquafina alone. She was born on June 2nd. Anyone that's born on June 2nd is amazing. June 2nd. I love Aquafina. Like, no, Aquafina, she's awesome in The Little Mermaid and in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And in Angry Birds 2. Come on. That's Aquafina there.
Isn't she also in... So I saw Mario, the Super Mario Bros. Movie the other day.
That's awesome.
I know it was way behind. I was watching it, like, my mother's assistant's kid was at my house. And he was watching it, and I was like, oh, I just wanted to sit in my living room. And it was actually super funny. Had a good message, had a good heart. Had Jack Black as Bowser, whom I love.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It was good. I enjoyed it too.
This. I will not like the new Garfield movie because the trailer looks sweet, but Chris Pratt sounds nothing like Garfield.
I agree.
Mario, I look past all of that, but for Garfield it's hard for me because I've seen the old cartoon show, which I really like. I've seen the movies, which are bad, but Bill Murray's voice is pretty good for Garfield.
No, hang on, Cap. Wait a second here. We just need to put right something here. Bill Murray's voice isn't pretty good for Garfield. The guy who did Garfield's voice based the voice on Bill Murray because he did the exact same voice for Peter Venkman in the real Ghostbusters. He basically took an impression of Bill Murray and used it for Garfield. So to say that Bill Murray did a pretty good Garfield is saying that he did a pretty good himself.
I didn't say he was
Did anyone see, going on the topic of Ghostbusters, did anyone see the new Ghostbusters, and why is it terrible?
Wait, hang on, look. So, Nick, you're a little bit late to this party here. We started things off here. The new Ghostbusters, like the next one coming out, Slimer is coming back.
Why does Slimer look like a dick?
Hang on a second. Look, we mentioned our friend Jimmy Mac earlier, but are you saying you're getting green in the peen? Because if any human being's dick looks like either the left or right version here, you need serious medical attention. That is taking getting green in the peen to a whole new level.
That's like a supernatural STD.
Yeah. Oh my god, and
that's
literally,
really
if you've
bad
seen
one.
Ghostbusters 1, literally, Ray gets some pleasure from a female ghost. It's super weird.
Yeah, I remember that.
I bet you do.
Isn't that the one where they say zoo?
Zool! Hang on a second, Gab. I did make that banner. Let's bring it up. Boom! Already ready.
Zoo!
Hey, are we gonna have an oceanic snake? Also,
Jesus, look, don't try to make this whole thing about you. I can't believe I'm making this for you now. Right. Boom. Oh shit, it's Nick. Oh dear. Oh well. So yeah, like, you know, we've got a few of these banners that come up. Now, has anyone seen anything else that we need to react to?
I've been watching the original Frasier from the 90s, which is it's not geeky. It's kind of, it's such a show I really like because I want to watch the remake, but I don't remember, or not the remake, but the continuation series, and I want to rewatch the original. The original show actually holds up. I would recommend, like, if you haven't seen it, it's really good. So,
Well, Frasier. Yeah, no, it's a good show.
Nick, then you should have mentioned Kelsey Grammer when you defended X-Men 3, okay?
Look, I was defending X-Men 3, which I didn't want to defend in the first place. I was giving it, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to lose. Because I'm defending a shit movie.
Nick, you went in with the loser mindset. You should have never done that to that awesome movie, okay? It had Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so... No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, mea culpa, mea culpa, mea culpa.
I have
I'm
no
going to
idea.
stop feeling myself after this podcast.
Sorry?
I started watching a show called Obliterated. It was okay. The one thing with it, I've only seen like the first episode or first 2 episodes. I don't necessarily mind profanity, but like it's like they had to try and cram it in as much as they could. It's just somewhat awkward. It's okay. It's definitely, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it's an okay show. It's sort of a spy slash, I don't know, spyish type. Or TV show, sorry.
Yeah. Someone needs to
Yeah,
work
so
out their
like that
notifications there. Okay, so guys, something I put up in the title of the show, just so we can get to it. James Gunn has spoken about Superman Legacy, and says something that he's not so keen on is what he calls cameo porn, where basically you have a character in a film and they are in there for 10 seconds and they don't have a reason to be there. What's your views on that?
I agree. I don't think you should have
agreed
it.
to that when they did that with Henry Cavill. He should have been like, yeah, I'm not a fan of cameo porn. Don't include him in the new movie. That should have been his thing if he strongly believes in that.
So in the Muppets, in the original Muppets from the late 80s, early 90s, there was a Nicholas in New York, and there were a lot of famous people walking around New York doing cameos. Like, if it was a cameo that makes sense to the story, I'm fine with it, but if it's just like, hi, I'm fucking, I can't remember, Michael Keaton, I was the original Batman. That's all I'm here for. Later. It's stupid.
Okay, what is the most pointless cameo you can remember from a film?
I would say pretty much everything from The Flash. Every cameo in there. I mean, it was just like the perfect, it was emblematic of what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Completely over the top.
Well, because they literally just had, like, Adam West appear in a sphere and then a shot of Christopher Reeve just doing nothing.
Yep.
And, like, even like, the bit with Nick Cage, you see him fight a spider for 3 seconds, and then he just turns around.
Yep.
Yeah, I do agree. That's probably the worst offender in terms of cameos.
I mean, if it was played by real Nicolas Cage, when he turned around, he would have been like, yes!
Yeah. The bees! Oh, gosh. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Also, I saw Blue Beetle this past week. I really liked it.
Okay,
I love George Lopez in that movie. He's playing the Cheech Marin role that Cheech has played in every other movie.
I would say like Blue Beetle, Shazam 2, and what else came out? I think Aquaman 2 is coming out. All these movies happened a few bit earlier, before the whole DC fiasco. They would have been instant hits. They would have made as much money as Avengers.
I would be happy if they just leave Blue Beetle as like this character, and they never bring him on like any. They don't need to bring him into like the.
Yeah, the main DCU.
They just bring him up there chilling. You know.
I think even Tom Holland now says that he only wants to do one Spider-Man movie, and then afterwards he wants to call it quits. Maybe it's like he's seeing that. I'm guessing I did a really good job with the last film. I'm pretty sure the next one's gonna suck for some reason. I shouldn't continue to sign a contract anymore. I don't think Zendaya has actually signed the contract for the next film. I think that's one of the main reasons why they never actually made it like Peter went back to MJ and said, "Hey, I'm Peter." That's why he left the store without introducing him. That's why they wrote that storyline in. Like Zendaya and the other guy hasn't signed the next contract.
Yeah, Zendaya and Ned haven't, or MJ and Ned. I don't remember Ned's real name.
But I'm pretty sure, I believe why Zendaya would be like, you know what, I have other options. But
there's also the Gwen Stacy storyline, which would have been started right at that time. So what they could do is they could just say they could introduce Gwen Stacy in the next movie, and if MJ doesn't want to come back, you know, for a loss, we can just phase into Gwen Stacy.
Well,
the thing that's sort of interesting, though.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go.
I was gonna say, for Zendaya, I'm somewhat surprised that they wouldn't have signed her to like a multi-movie deal, because that's what normally they do. Even if, I mean, MJ is not like the top billed character, but you know, in there. Yeah, and her name is huge, and I'm just sort of surprised that they wouldn't have locked her in. And I wonder also if that's why Tom Holland is saying that he's only going to do one more. Maybe that's the last one that he's contractually obligated to do.
Right.
Yeah,
and she has Dune lined up, and I think she can probably get many more projects, and she'll be pretty successful.
I never get it with these guys where they sort of like they don't realise what brought them to the table, sort of thing. They sort of like, I'm not going to do another one of these and that. Like it's bizarre, because if you can, I always think for an actor, if you've got one or two big franchises, you know, if you're just known as one thing, you'll be stuck in it, and you may think, I need to get something else. But if you don't really find that other thing along the way, and I'd say like Tom Holland, what else is he really known for?
Yeah.
That is true.
What else did he do? Don't get rid of the only thing that's going to keep you in the conversation. Because look at Andrew Garfield. After Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, he kind of, you know, he did bits and pieces. And yeah, there was Tick Tick Boom or whatever. But basically, he wasn't that relevant again until Far From Home. And that's happened, and everyone's like, oh, they should make Amazing Spider-Man 3. Well, that hasn't happened. And now where's Andrew Garfield? Don't count, you know, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, as they say.
Yeah.
Although I would say this, that the actors who have reinvented themselves, a good success story would be Matthew McConaughey. I think his whole shtick is that he was only seen as the rom-com guy, but then he did True Detective, and he was like brought in a different level.
All right, McConaughey.
Yeah. So his whole shtick is like reinventing his career. Again, he's famous, not in a sense like superhero-ish, but like he's now basically a versatile actor who can do any roles and win an Oscar. He has reached into that level of actor status. I think that's what
Mike.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, McConaughey was in Magic Mike.
Magic Mike?
Won an Oscar, right? Never seen that movie.
You've not seen Magic Mike, Cap?
Never seen it.
Ah, you're missing out.
I mean, the love story, there's some Ninja Turtles also.
Okay, I am intrigued.
Well, don't let that be the selling point.
Okay, guys, let's. No, go ahead. Go ahead if you got something else.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Andrew Garfield, I thought, did a fantastic job in Hacksaw Ridge, and if you've not seen it, I would recommend it. It is a war movie, but it's about World War II, if I remember correctly, and the story behind it is absolutely incredible as well.
I have seen it, but I can't actually remember a thing about it. But I know I've seen
It's
it.
the doctor who decided not to have any guns while he was in World War II, right? That's the whole premise of the film.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, he joined the military and ended up getting like practically every military honor, Purple Hearts, Medal of Honor, Bronze Stars, all of these things. He saved like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 people that were pinned down and stuff. I mean, just incredible story. And I thought he was really good in that, but I just looked at it and that's basically the last thing he's really done. That was 7 years ago.
But that's the thing. I think that's what happened with when you're like superstars. They figure like, I don't want to be the superstar. I want to be like Leo, in a sense. Like I want to be Leonardo DiCaprio. I want to receive that.
Or like Daniel Radcliffe, even, who's like, he did Harry Potter. Then he did Now You See Me, which I love. Now You See Me.
I like the first one, but I didn't like the one he was in.
Oh, he was in the second one? Okay.
Yeah.
I like a good heist movie. And then he did Equus in New York, which if you've seen Equus...
Is that where he split in two from his penis with a horse?
The horse, yes.
Yes,
That's correct.
okay, that's true. Okay, guys, very quickly, right? So, we need to begin to wrap things up here. So let's quickly find out who our Geek of the Week is going to be. I'm going to give you a movie or whatever you want to guess, and you'll have a minute to guess. Cap, what would you like to guess?
A cartoon show.
I knew you'd say a cartoon character.
Was there any doubt?
Okay, cartoon character.
Okay, let's go for cartoon character. Your time starts now.
Is he from a TV show?
Yes. Well,
Is it a he?
yes.
Is it from the 90s, the show?
Yes.
Is it an action show?
Maybe. I don't know if you'd quite count it as that.
Is it a comedy show?
Yeah, more comedy.
More comedy than action. Is it a Simpson?
No, it's not The Simpsons.
Is it a Family Guy?
No.
So it's not one of those type of shows?
No, it's not a sitcom, but it's not action like Thundercats, and it's not comedy like The Simpsons. But it leans into humour, like.
Is it Freakazoid?
Is it what? Freakazoid? No.
Yeah. Is it the Looney Tunes type show?
No.
Is it Disney?
Yes.
Is it Gargoyles?
No.
Is it DuckTales?
No.
Is it one of the member of Mickey's Gang's show? Like
It is not, but that is time. Nick, handing over to you.
Is it Pinky from Pinky and the Brain?
No.
No.
Is it the Brain from Pinky and the Brain?
It's not. It's
No.
Disney.
Oh, it's Disney. Is it Aladdin?
No.
Is he a lead character in any of the movies?
Not a lead character in the movies, no.
Is he magic in any way?
Magic, no.
Is he technology based?
No.
Is it a Boo the Monkey?
It is not a Boo the Monkey.
Is it Iago the Parrot?
No.
Do you have any idea who it is, Gerald?
No.
You have
Not yet.
25 seconds.
I have no idea. Is it Raja the Tiger from Aladdin?
No.
You need to leave Aladdin, Gerald. Nick, sorry. You need to leave Aladdin. Nick.
That is time. That is time. Before we move on to Gerald, I'm just going to tell you that a year ago I directed a youth theatre production of Aladdin. And we were like, who's your favourite character? And one of the children was like, I like Roger the lion. Or the tiger, rather. Roger? Who's Roger? You know,
Raj.
the tiger. Oh, you mean Raja? Right, Roger, I just loved it. Okay, Gerald, handing over to you. Take it away.
Is it an animal?
Yes.
Is it a meat-eating animal?
Meat eating?
So is it like a dog or a tiger or a bear?
It definitely eats things that are alive, but not like a tiger would.
Okay. Character.
It's more prey than predator.
Oh. Is it a bird?
No.
Is it a cat? Like a domestic cat?
It is a cat, but it's not a domestic cat.
Ooh, I know.
I know you.
Certain type of cat.
Is it a meerkat?
Yes, it is!
Is it Timon?
Yes, I'm going to give you that literally 2 seconds after the time. But, so close. Yeah, I will give you that. Right. Okay, Nick, what would you like to guess?
You know what? I like this category. Let's do the same one.
What, a character? Okay, a cartoon character. Okay, you have a cartoon character. Your time starts now.
Is it Disney?
Disney, no.
Is it DreamWorks?
No.
Is it animated? Oh, this is animated. Is it a TV show?
Yes.
Is it Fox Kids?
No.
Is it DC?
No.
Is it Marvel?
No.
Is it Dora the Explorer?
Is it what?
Dora the Explorer.
No.
Is it Nickelodeon?
No.
Is it a male character?
Yes.
Is it DreamWorks?
No.
Is it Simba?
No.
Is it a chicken?
No, it is not a chicken. I'm going to say that is time there. Gerald, handing over to you.
Is it Warner Brothers?
No.
Is it an animal?
No.
Is it in space?
No. Okay, just to quickly say, it may now be owned by Warner Brothers, but wasn't at the time.
Okay. Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
15 seconds.
No, I don't know.
2 seconds. Cap, handing over to you.
Is it Hanna-Barbera?
Yes.
Ah, good guess.
Is it the Flintstones?
No.
Is it the Jetsons?
No.
Is it Scooby-Doo?
No.
Is it Tom and Jerry?
No.
Is it, what else do they have? Is it, Jetsons? That's pretty much it. Is it Yogi Bear?
No.
Fuck. Is it a dog character?
A dog? No.
Is it Top Cat?
No, it's not Top Cat.
I love Top Cat.
I'm running through all the Hanna-Barbera stuff. Is it a villain? Is it a villain?
No.
Were they part of the race car show with all the...
I don't
Hanna-Barbera
think so.
So he's not in... Did he make any guest appearances on any of these shows?
Possibly, but that is time, I'm afraid. I'll tell you.
Is it Ranger Smith?
It is not Ranger Smith.
Oh.
Hang on 1 second. Okay, it looks like they did make a cameo here or there, but I'll tell you now, it was Captain Caveman.
Oh.
Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels. Right, okay, so Gerald, what would you like to guess?
Do a movie.
Okay. And oh, I don't know if this one's too hard. We'll give it a go. Go.
Is it a drama?
No.
Horror?
No, I wouldn't say so.
Sci-fi?
Yes.
Does it have any comedy?
Comedy? No.
Yep. Does it have aliens in it?
No, it's not about aliens. All right,
Is it
Nick.
Gravity?
Right, what?
Is it Gravity?
No, it's not Gravity.
Armageddon?
No.
So,
Is it like a true science fiction when I think of science, like futuristic, or is it more like Jurassic Park, where it's...
It's set in the future. I can tell you that much.
Does it take place on Earth?
Yes.
Does it have a villain?
That is time. Cap, handing over to you.
Is it Divergent?
No.
Is it Hunger Games?
You're never going to get it going this way.
Okay. So, is it a science technology based of space travel?
It's not space travel.
Is it about a post-apocalyptic story?
I don't think so, but it's set in the future.
Is it like iRobot?
A robot, yes.
It's about robots. So it's not about iRobot.
No.
It's not AI.
No.
Is it the new movie with the like AI doll?
No.
Is it the Robin Williams movie?
No.
The Bionicle Man or something like that? No.
Bicentennial, but no.
Did it come out in the 2000s?
No.
After 2000s?
No.
No. 90s?
No. That is time.
80s?
No, and that is still
Yeah.
time. Nick, handing over to you.
70s,
No.
60s,
No.
2010s.
No.
Go back, Nick. Go back.
Keep going back.
No.
Is it Tomar the Robot?
Is it no? It's not that.
Is it Wally?
No. No.
Way back. Older.
Go to black and white. Go to black and white.
Is it Frankenstein?
No.
Star Wars?
No.
Before the 50s.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Citizen Kane.
No.
The robot from Lost in Space.
No. Okay, guys, that is time. If anyone wants to steal this point as the last point, does anyone know what it is?
Is it a Doctor Who special from the 40s?
No, it's a movie.
Is it the movie where they go to space? The last human to go to space?
No, I don't think it's set in space at all. Going once. Going twice.
Is
Go on, Cap.
it the 1984 movie?
No. Right. That is time. It's Metropolis.
Ah.
Oh, shit.
So, like, the original robot movie.
Yep.
So, with that, let's have a quick look here. I think, Gerald, you have just about stolen Geek of the Week. So, well done there, Gerald.
Harold!
Right, so guys, let's quickly find out where we can find everyone on social media, just because I'm going to have to jump over to do Extreme Improv Extreme sooner rather than later, just because it has to be a short show tonight. Capital Fave, where can the people find you, and do you have a recommendation?
My recommendation for you today is Goblin Slayer Season 2. The dub has 10 episodes. I'm still waiting for 11 and 12. I would wait for it, but you can start it on Season 2 of Goblin Slayer. It's really good. It's kind of D&D-ish, but it's mostly very violent, very strategic people about dealing with goblins and stuff like that. It's very gory, very violent, don't forget, so pick your poison. You can check me out on Sundays where I sing, I dance, I draw myself in the bucket, and I work with puppets. And I recently made a video about the Disney movie that actually made me like Christmas. Before that, I wasn't really into that idea. And also, you can check out Dave and C's YouTube channel, where he showed me clips of old Godzilla films and had my reactions and posted a lot of funny stuff into it. It's really funny. Go check it out. He put a lot of work into it. It's really worth it. It's just me giving bonkers comments to old Godzilla films.
Okay.
So check out the channel.
Nick, where can the people find you?
I can be found on Twitter at NSTEB. I can be found here most weeks. I'm usually a little bit late, but that's kind of my shtick. Also, my recommendation for this week is watch Cheers. It's a great show. I know it's not geeky, but it's funny. It's classic.
Okay, fantastic. Gerald, where can the people find you and what's your recommendation?
At Instagram at Gerald Geek. I don't have a recommendation this week.
Okay, right.
Except check out Caps and David's stuff.
Awesome stuff. Okay, my name is David Pistansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pistansky, spelled Pustansky. Also, check out Xstreamed.tv, where you'll be able to find all of the Geek Battle merch and stuff. But my recommendation to this week is to check out the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel. I've got a couple of videos just gone up. One about the Atari Game Station Pro, which comes with this, which has this cool light-up joystick. Ooh. And also a review of the Intellivision Amico Shark game. Is it as bad as people feared? Maybe. Right, so with that, from me, from everyone else, stay safe, always stay extremed, live long and prosper, may the force be with you, and ciao for now. Boom! And we are going to be off the air.